Hello everyone, welcome back to Owlet. I am Razorblade04, next to me is Misfit, and today we've got a game between the Council of Anime Girls and Absolute Monstrosity. And how are you feeling for this game today, Misfit?
Well, I'm very, very excited. As we talked about a little bit before we had to cut the stream, there is it's going to be a battle between some of my former teammates. We got Hoopa57 on the side of Absolute Monstrosity, while Blackman and Hawk will be on Council of Anime Girls. So some familiar faces around Owlet for this one. And I'm very, very excited to see what these two teams can bring to the table. Absolute Monstrosity had a kind of a disappointing show in their first match versus Everfrost. They ran some strange comps, and they made a lot of mistakes that impacted their performance, and they ended up losing 3-0. But, I'm confident that they can have something, they can make something happen if they bring it back out here. However, I don't think Council of Anime Girls is going to be a team they can do it against. Council of Anime Girls is pretty stacked throughout the roster. I mentioned that Blackman and Hawk, who I think very, very highly of, are on this roster, but they also have several other returning members from Owlet, including Sempra, Reed, a couple of new faces in Abstract and Alcura, under the account not tier 2, as it is his highest ranked account. Owlet rules for you. So there's a lot of talent throughout this roster, and it's going to come down to how well Absolute Monstrosity can deal with the high impact players on Council of Anime Girls.
Absolutely, and this is going to be a chance for both teams to just play another game, see how they stack up, and it's a chance for us to see how they stack up in the standings against one another.
Yeah, absolutely, and we can talk a little bit more about these two teams in terms of the statistics. Obviously, so far, the most dominant performance by a DPS player in preseason, provided there's only been 2 games, goes to Hawk, who had quite a lot of eliminations for the 3 maps they played against SpongeBob Mac and Cheese. He had 34 elims on Control, 49 on Rialto, the second map, and 38 on Eichenwald. So very, very dominant performance from him. A lot of eliminations. Hawk's the kind of player that he just wins his ones, right? As someone who I've played with him before, I've been on his team. I've been a friend of his for a while now, and he's the type of player who will take any matchup. He will go and find the enemy DPS, the enemy spores, and he will go for the kill. He has no fear. He has so much skill. He knows he can hit the shot, and he just goes and does it. And he's a really, really dangerous player that every team is going to have to watch out for in the regular season. And I'm excited to see what he can do against Absolute Monstrosity today.
Absolutely, and as we move into our first map, Lijiang Tower, we're going to see the comps that the teams are running out. Both teams running out with the Reinhardt, the Orisa, the Symmetra from both sides, most likely with the TP, and the Baptiste on both sides. But we're seeing a Lucio from one team, while another is running Brigitte. And what's your take on that difference here?
Well, the Brigitte gives the team much more sustain, but there's no real reason for that. The first fight that's going to happen with these teleporters needs to happen fast, and the team with the Lucio is going to be able to get on point first, which is a huge advantage with this composition. So I really don't like the Brig pick coming out here from Absolute Monstrosity, already putting themselves at a disadvantage. And here we see Council of Anime Girls just already on the point.
Council of Anime Girls getting the first initiative. Lamp already out from Absolute Monstrosity. It's an absolute brawl on the point. Both teams just brawling it out, but it looks like Council of Anime Girls is getting the better, but Tex comes back with 2 Mushroom, does get Hoopa the main tank. It's a scrappy fight. Council of Anime Girls does get the kills they need, and it is going to be a win, albeit a messy one for them, and they're going to take the first cap.
Yeah, they did lose some members, and it did take a little bit longer than they would have liked to, but they built up some ults there. They're going to have to be very, very close to that sound barrier. Mushroom doing an excellent job building that there with a bit of damage from it. The Lucio. What we're going to look for here is we're going to see Council just kind of sit on this point and force this, this double shield comp from Absolute Monstrosity to face them on this point. They don't want to face them in open space where that Pharah can find the value. They want to hold up on point with their Symmetra turrets, with all of their resources, and just sit there and bunker up.
Yeah, and with the swaps coming in from Absolute Monstrosity, it's going to be a different fight heading into the second fight here already. Scooter is just poking away, but he hasn't really gotten much yet. As you mentioned, Council of Anime Girls just sitting on point after Monstrosity puts the window down, but it just gets walled off, and they're not going to get any value. That read is very low, however. The mortality field has to come out, and both Baptistes are going to go down. Scooter does pick off Reed, so that's a player advantage for Absolute Monstrosity here, trying to march onto point. Hawk does get tech, so it's a trade. Mushroom is going to take down No Blood. Council of Anime Girls with the man advantage, and they're going to take this fight back. It's just the Pharmacy on point, and that's not going to last very long, and they're going to hold that point.
That was a bit of a misplay there from Absolute Monstrosity. They had picks, but they didn't have important picks. The most important pick there is that high charge Symmetra, and what they should have done there is they should have just waited out the charge or tried to help Scooter get the pick from outside the point, but instead they pushed on point into that high charge Symmetra, and Hawk just picked them apart.
Absolutely. Now it's going to be final fight territory here for Absolute Monstrosity. Scooter and Tex just on that side, just poking in. While the tanks try to push onto point, No Blood, No Soul is going to try to push in here. Both tanks in. The barrage is going to come out from Scooter. No kills are found. The beat comes out from Mushroom. The blizzard is going to come out from Bob Guy. Blatman gets No Blood, No Soul. The pulse bomb out from Tex doesn't find anything. We're into OT now. Mushroom has gotten 2 kills onto Tex and Koopa. Council of Anime Girls now with 4 kills, and it looks like they're going to be taking this first round 99-0, barring a miracle, and they are going to take this first round.
I think what we saw this in their match against Everfrost. It feels like Absolute Monstrosity is relying way too much on this double shield to get things done for them. I don't think double shield's very good. I don't know why they're running it. I think if you want to run that Tracer Pharah, I think the ball's just way better of a pick. It's more disruption. It can, get through that bunker composition of the Orisa Ryan much easier than Orisa can. It's just so much better. I don't understand. They're kind of shooting themselves in the foot by running a composition, running a double shield composition that can't beat the composition they're running into. It just doesn't have the resources. That Orisa Sigma does not have the resources to win a fight, a brawl against an Orisa Reinhardt. It's just not going to happen.
Like you said, you're probably right on that one, but they are going to be running out on the Reinhardt Diva. Council of Anime Girls going to go with the early TP. No TP coming out from Absolute Monstrosity, so Council of Anime Girls is going to get the early positioning by a fair bit. Tex is just sitting on points, poking away. Scooter with the Pharah just trying to get some poke damage and not going to get much. Reed steps onto point, is dueling with No Blood, No Soul, and the first pick is going to come out from Guy onto Tex, the Tracer. Everyone on Council of Anime Girls, or Absolute Monstrosity, very low. The lamp has to come out, but it gets chewed through, and their kills are just going to be rolling in from Council of Anime Girls. Hawk gets the DMAC. The Farmers are trying to stay alive, but they're going to get picked off, and once again, it's first cap going to Council of Anime Girls.
Yeah, and look at the ult charge on Hawk right now, almost all the way to his first ultimate, even after just one fight. That's the kind of impact you want out of that Symmetra. She's not really going to get you a ton of picks. She doesn't have immediate burst damage, but once she gets high charge, she just dominates you. She has so much damage. She can burn through shields, burn through tanks, and just get that ult charge so quickly.
Absolutely, and lots of changes coming in from Absolute Monstrosity. The lamp has to come out really early as Reed just goes barreling into them. No Blood, No Soul's going to go down. Both tanks are down for Absolute Monstrosity. They're just going to be... Council of Anime Girls is just going to be pushing them into this door, and Absolute Monstrosity can barely get out of their own spawn. Tex is on the back cap here, though he's just going to be poking away, so he is going to force Council of Anime Girls to rotate back onto point. He's going to get out of there. The Shatter tries to come out, but it's getting canceled as he dies, so Reed is not going to find any value with that. That's a great pick. The window comes out from Absolute Monstrosity, but Bob Guy gets Tex, so it's a trade 1-for-1. The window is still out from Dota Puncher. The Flux is going to come out from Blatman. Gets canceled. Hawk gets Scooter, however, so the player advantage is in favor of Council of Anime Girls. No Blood, No Souls goes for the Shatter, but he gets killed for it. The kills are coming in from Council of Anime Girls. Tex gets Reed. Transing, for some reason, gets trapped. He's not going to find any value with it. Mushroom just chasing these final frags, and Absolute Monstrosity is going to go for a reset here, and it's looking like a final fight territory here for them.
Yeah, they don't really have a lot of winners. They have that Sigma Flux, but the Mushroom's got that beat ready for it. They're going to have to find some way to use these DPS ults to find the picks, and they're going to have to do it fast before Bob Guy can pull off a big tire.
The wall is going to talk first. The Flux comes out from Hoopa. Like you said, the beat comes out. Tire is going to come out, but Reed gets the charge onto No Blood, No Soul. Bob Guy gets Hoopa. Hawk gets Scooter. Kills coming in for Council of Anime Girls, and once again, it's going to look like a quick 2-0 on Lijiang Tower for Council of Anime Girls.
Yeah, and this is kind of how I expected this to go. I think Absolute Monstrosity, hurts themselves too much by running these strange comps. I think they should focus more on a more meta comp that will give them good resources rather than trying to use these comfort picks. It doesn't seem to be working very well for them, and they were really struggling to find a foothold against this Koag roster right now. Hawk finishing that map with 31 eliminations, ahead of everyone on his team and the enemy by about 10, I believe. And again, very high impact player. If you want to help mitigate players like Hawk, you need to run comps that are going to give you resources that can actually help you win. Because these Ryan Diva compositions, these Arista Sigma compositions, they're not good. They do not have resources that can compete with the comps they're going against. And like even if they are running it well, it's not going to bring them success against an actually good comp.
Absolutely, and we're gonna move into the second map here. And as we go into the second map, what do you think Absolute Monstrosity's move is for the map pick here?
Again, preseason, we don't know these teams very well yet. So we don't really know what they prefer in terms of map picks. That's one of the benefits of preseason. We get to see what they like. I will say, though, that Absolute Monstrosity went to Rialto in their last match when they lost map 1. So I would assume that to be their pick again. I see no reason not to. I think Rialto is the best map in our pool. I believe our other ones are Junkertown and Route 66. I hate both those maps. They both suck. I think Rialto's a great map, despite what anyone says about it. I think it's one of my favorite maps in the game. And I know for a fact Hoopa loves this map. So, definitely a chance to see him show a little bit more of what he can do there. We got to see some plays from him. He had the huge stun on the Sigma Flux, which, unfortunately didn't help his team win the fight. But that's the kind of plays you can expect from Hoopa. I don't know too much about this Absolute Monstrosity roster, but Hoopa 57 is a god tier off tank, and he is going to be making plays like that for his team throughout the course of this game.
Absolutely, that rock was an incredible stun there. And we're going to move into Rialto, as you predicted from Absolute Monstrosity, and they did not fare so well the last game with that C9 against Everfrost that last game. So what adjustments do you think they're going to be making coming into this map?
It depends. I definitely don't want to see them run that double shield comp again, but if they're going to, they need to play it correctly. They need to put everyone on high ground except for the Orisa and Brig and just let them contest cart while everyone else stays on that off angle. The reason they struggled on Rialto the first time around is because they all set up on low ground and put 6 players in one spot against a composition that was designed to disrupt that and find picks. And they just fell apart against that roster. And I know for a fact Koag is most likely going to run the Ball Sigma here. There's no real reason for them not to. This is a great map for Ball Sigma. They have a great ball player and not tier 2. Again, there's no reason for them not to. And that Ball Sigma composition is going to dominate the double shield because they can disrupt very easily. They can dive on squishy targets who don't have any mobility. Think Baptiste, think Brig. You slam it with the ball and the Tracer's just there to follow up. And the eye field's good, but it's not going to live through a sustained dive with that core of the roster, that Sigma, that Brig, that Zen pushing up and really getting in there. And it's definitely not going to survive through an Echo focusing beam. So I don't think that the double shield is the pick here for them, but if they're going to run it again, they need to run it correctly.
Absolutely, and we're going to move into this map shortly. Absolute Monstrosity is going to be on this attack, and it's going to be very interesting to see if they're able to make these adaptations to counter Council of Anime Girls and give themselves a chance at this preseason dub.
Yeah, absolutely. I still think there's a chance. Absolute Monstrosity, I think they do have potential. They've shown signs of it, right? They've had players who have made decent plays. But a lot of it comes down to I don't think they're working very well as a team. I don't think they're running comps that are suited for this meta. I think coaching would be very, very good for them. I see on their team card that they haven't put down that they have a coach. I think they need to find a coach because I think they have talent on this roster. Again, players like Hoopa. Texas had some good performances in his last map, good maps in his last game. I think they have potential, but it's just not coming together as a unit right now. And that's something they really, really need if they want to succeed in Owlet Season 3.9.
Absolutely. And coming into the second map, Council of Anime Girls being absolutely dominant on that first map. And what do you and we're just gonna take a short second to move into the second map. But before we do, what do you think worked? Who do you think was the standout player on Council of Anime Girls for that first map? Like you mentioned, Hawk, but
yeah, again, Hawk is. I can talk all day about Hawk. I'm good friends with the guy. Really, really good player. But I think as we get into the next map, I think the player I've got to highlight is not tier 2. He is formerly known as Hammond GDH or Hammond Godhand. I believe that's still his Twitter handle. I could be wrong though. I think it's not actually. I lied. He goes by Alcura now. but he's a Wrecking Ball player, and he's a really, really good one. He got to 3,900 on the character, very, very solid player, and even though Hawk, had the most eliminations in their match against SpongeBob Mac and Cheese on this map, Not Tier 2 was pretty close behind. He had a ton of picks himself. He's setting up for all these dives. He struggles a bit to talk to his team, but other than that, he's like a really mechanically skilled player. He knows all his rollouts. He's really, really good with his engages. He's a really talented player, and he's definitely another player that you want to keep your eye on as we get into this next map.
Absolutely, and as we move on to Rialto with Council of Anime Girls on that defense, we're going to see the Hanzo, which we saw yesterday, the Tracer, the Ball, as you mentioned, not Tier 2 on. And from the side of Absolute Monstrosity, we see them sticking to that double Ash Hanzo. And like you mentioned, you don't like this that much, and with the Ash Hanzo, how do you take that, especially with the Mercy damage boost?
Well, Ash just got her nerf where she no longer one-shots with damage boost, so honestly, I feel like it's a pretty bad idea. I think this on a Mercy support line with these tanks is also a really bad idea. The eye field is a really, really important part of double shield composition, and not having it is going to be a big problem. But not Tier 2 actually gets slept antied and killed.
Slept antied, rock every stun in the game, and Absolute Monstrosity just going to be marching in. Council of Anime Girls forced off that high ground because of that one pick, and a really good start here from Absolute Monstrosity with that stun chain onto not Tier 2. They're just going to be taking that high ground. Blatman here trying to challenge Cart, might get caught out here, does get antied. Not Tier 2 is back though, and does have that peel just slamming onto that high ground, causing so much disruption. Not Tier 2 on the high ground, trying to get something done, but you can't really. Just a lot of poke here. Bob Guy on the side, just shoving arrows into the side of No Blood No Soul. As he gets low, Donut Puncher gets picked off, and Hawk gets No Blood No Soul. That's 2 down for the side of Absolute Monstrosity, but Epic Gamer is going to get hawked. So it is going to be a slower engage here from Council of Anime Girls because of that pick. Not Tier 2 just hiding in the side. He's gonna get spotted out. He's gonna have to get out of it.
No, but that was a decent fight from them. A lot of it came down to Hawk was a little bit behind Not Tier 2 on that first engage. They weren't able to get the picks right away, but a good dive there from Not Tier 2 on his second engage allows him to get some picks in the fight. That's actually really good.
Guy. Splitting the team, trades come out, Epic Gamer dies, but he does get Mushroom in the process, so that's 1 down for either team. Tex is very low. I would really enjoy if someone healed Tex, but he's gonna die before someone can. Not Tier 2 just going in, gets stunned, but they can't. But Absolute Monstrosity can't find the kill. Hawk gets Donut Puncher. The Pulse Bomb comes out onto, I believe that was No Blood No Soul, but he survives. No team really having an advantage here, kind of just in a stalemate. Absolute Monstrosity can't really engage here, but they are just going to wait for their respawners to come in. Not Tier 2.
They're doing a very good job of getting set up here. Hoopa is making sure he gets this high ground, and No Blood No Soul is not pushing until he gets up there. That's a really, really good coordination from them.
Bongo comes up. The Bob is going to go into the back, denying a lot of space. Council of Anime Girls getting pushed all the way back. Bob Guy is going to die for that, so that's the main advantage for the sides of Absolute Monstrosity. They're getting this cart very close to first point. The res is going to come out onto Tex, however, not. And with that, ults are just gonna fly out from Council of Anime Girls. The Minefield and the Flux come out. However, Clown Dog is gonna get Tex, Hawks get Hoopa, and that's gonna be a 2-man advantage for Council of Anime Girls, and that looks like they're just gonna clean up the fight from here.
I was a former coach of Council of Anime Girls. I ended up having to leave the team in order to be eligible to be the nest host. But something I can tell you, they really struggle to coordinate with each other. They have a lot of mechanical skill, but they don't coordinate well. But something they all have that's really important is they all have a survival instinct. They all think about how they can keep themselves alive and how they can put themselves in really good spots. And what that does is when they lose one in a fight, they all kite really, really effectively and put themselves in really good spots to get back for the next engagement. And stuff like that is what helps them win in fights like that and get back in fights where they should lose.
Epic Gamer does win the Tracer duel though, so that's 1 down for Council of Anime Girls. Absolute Monstrosity capitalizing with the Flux and the Dragon Strike combining, but the Immortality is going to be there to save them, though it does go down very quickly. The Trans is going to come out from Clown Dog, as well as the Amplification Matrix from Mushroom. Pulse Bomb comes out from Hawk, finding no kills, and these ults just aren't getting any value. The Dragon Strike does come out from Bob Guy. Hawk does go down for the side of it. Council of Anime Girls, Absolute Monstrosity just marching this cart into first point, and they're going to get this first point.
Yeah. I really like the Tracer switch there from Epic Gamer. It seems like he's getting a lot more value on it than he was on that Ashe. It's been a long time since I've seen Hawk lose multiple Tracer duels in a row. And Epic Gamer's finding a way to get it done. So, you know, definitely gonna have a better chance on this character than he did on that Mercy. So we got to look out for here before we get into this next fight is, you know, who gets the positional advantage. Right now it's looking like Absolute Monstrosity has it, but if they lose this fight, they're going to be put in one of the worst points to push in the entire map, which is going to be that Rialto while you're getting clouded spawn.
Absolutely. Absolute Monstrosity just pushing this cart with Donut Puncher on it. Council of Anime Girls just trying to push out onto this high ground, but Absolute Monstrosity is doing a very good job of avoiding getting booped by the ball. The Supercharger is going to come out from No Blood, No Soul, and Epic Gamer finding value on that Tracer, getting the pick onto Bob Guy. Hawk is trying to just push up onto that high ground, but he's just going to get picked off by Tex with the Supercharger. Anti-Nade comes out onto Blatman. He's going to go down, and Absolute Monstrosity just rolling through this second point, and they're going to go on to third point here with 3 minutes in the time bank.
And they have a really, really big ult advantage right now. They got the Flux, the Nano, the Dragons, and the Rally. And while there are ults on the side of Coag, you know, again, a big problem they have is coordination. If they can't coordinate these ults well, they're not going to be able to find the same value that this double shield comp will with their ults.
Yeah, and with Hawk switching over to the Echo, it's going to be a different comp that Absolute Monstrosity is playing into. The Flux is going to immediately come out from Blatman. Not tier 2 is going to drop the Minefield. They're going to find value from results. They get 2 picks. The rally is out for Minecraft Man, but it's not going to matter. He's going to go down, and Council of Anime Girls is going to stabilize and win that fight.
After 2 there with an excellent engage, slams in with the Minefield and is able to focus down that rallying Brigitte, body blocks her from getting away. That's exactly what you want to see out of your ball here. And he's actually going for the boop, but he's going to get it.
No, so, but he's going to get punished by Minecraft Man. Though that is going to mean another 10-second delay, and not tier 2 is most likely going to be back for this fight. So, bit of an interesting play there. We love to see it, though.
What's even more important about that is he gets all that 450 HP for his ult charge. He's 64% to his mines now. And Minecraft Man only got, like, 26% because he was already low. So that's a really, really good play there from not tier 2.
The Dragon Strike is going to come out from Bob Guy, but he's going to give his life for an Epic Gamer. Once again, coming up big on that Tracer. However, Minecraft Man does get traded out. Blatman gets traded out. Kills coming in favor of Absolute Monstrosity. Dragon Strike and Gravitic Flux coming out from Hoopa and Tex. Donut Puncher is going to go down, but Absolute Monstrosity is just going to keep marching this card in. And it's going to be close to the final fight here for Council of Anime Girls. Bob Guy is going to switch on to that Doomfist for the touch. They're just grouping up here for that re-engage.
Yeah, not tier 2 is going to have these mines though, and Hawk is very close to that Echo ult, and there's no ult available for the double shield combo with Absolute Monstrosity, so advantage Coag right now, but they still have to make the plays.
Absolutely. Donut Puncher to swap them to the Moira. He's going to be back. It's going to be a 66 fight. Clown Dog Trans is here, and the Council of Anime Girls just going to be trying to use this to push in. The mines come out from not tier 2, splits the team. No Blood, No Soul is going to die for that. Absolute Monstrosity just getting pushed back all the way. And it doesn't look like they're going to want to take this fight. They're just going to take a reset, and it's going to be final fight with only 40 seconds in the time bank.
Advantage is kind of not existent right now. Both teams with very good ultimates. The Bongo and Rally available for this double shield comp. Well, you got a Flux window and Echo ult on the side of Council of Anime Girls. So this is going to be a very Q-heavy fight. Whichever team can use their ults more effectively is going to find success here in this final fight.
Yeah, and even if Absolute Monstrosity complete this map, it's going to be an overtime. Flux is going to come out from Hoopa, catches 1, or catches 2. The rally is out from Minecraft Man. Hoopa goes down through it, though. Just a really scrappy fight here. Absolute Monstrosity just getting booped all around by not tier 2, but Minecraft Man is going to get Bob Guy, not tier 2, dies from Donut Muncher. Hoopa over to that Wrecking Ball to touch, to get back to the point. The Echo ult is out from Hawk, but he's just gonna die for it, gets no value. The Pulse Bomb out for Epic Gamer does do some damage to Blatman, but he's gonna get finished off by the rest of the team. Not tier 2 with the mines on point. Not gonna find any value, but he does get Minecraft Man, so that is a pick. He's still stalling on point. They're not gonna be able to kill him. This is a lot of time bought for the respawns of Council of Anime Girls. Hawk is on the soldier. He's finally gonna go down, but Council of Anime Girls might get a touch. The Lucio's on the point. They're not focusing him. This is so much time bought for Council of Anime Girls here. This is absolutely.
Guy is gonna fall there, dude. Respawn point.
Wait, the Lucio's finally gonna go down, but Council of Anime Girls delaying this so much for the respawners to come in.
Monster's already halfway to another ult too, and Bob Guy's close to his. If they can find some value out of this, if they can stop for just a little bit longer, they can possibly find something. But it looks like it's all for naught here.
But it's not going to matter, and Absolute Monstrosity is going to finish this map. Unless a miracle, no miracle is gonna happen, and that was a scrappy last fight. I'm pretty sure Clown Dog and Not Tier 2 were able to stall for, what, 15-20 seconds?
Yeah, that was pretty long. That was a really good job there, just a lack of focus fire from that double shield composition. Or I shouldn't say double shield, they run Orisa Ball there at the end. Absolute Monstrosity there, doing a good job of pushing it through. It just didn't really feel like Hoag had the resources in that spawn to deal with the healing output of Moira Brig, which, you know, that's just going to happen. Like, Moira Brig is a lot of healing. But I think the real thing that screwed Coag there is they did a really good job. They used that flux early and they comboed it with a window. They got a pick off of Bob Guy's uppercut, and then they didn't get aggressive. They had every advantage in their favor there. They had a low health enemy team. They had a window on them, putting pressure. There was no reason they didn't push there, but instead they held back and tried to like use the window, even though their opponents were, you know, LOSing it. They were in cover. They weren't in. You couldn't get the value out of it. They tried to use it for too long instead of getting decisive and pushing forward and finishing the kills that they had created for themselves. So I think that was a big cause for their failure to defend that final point. But still, you know, they got it to overtime, so they can still give themselves a chance to win this map if they complete this map with time. But I will say, this is a different Absolute Monstrosity than we saw on map 1 and that we saw during Everfrost. They were much better on this map than they were in their previous games.
Absolutely, and they almost did get held on this first point, but they were able to turn it around, storm through all of second point, and then finish the map. Even though it's in OT, the double shield coming out from both teams with the Hanzo on either side. Hawk gonna be sticking with this Echo. Epic Gamer trying on that flank, but he is gonna get spotted out. No blood, no soul, just sticking to this corner. Epic Gamer just poking from the high ground. The tanks of Council of Anime Girls pushing in very aggressively. They're gonna get a lot of space. Clown Dog and Epic Gamer are both gonna die to the respective Hanzos. So it is still an even fight, but Council of Anime Girls is just pushing forward. Hawk is gonna get Donut Puncher, and Absolute Monstrosity in the span of 10 seconds has already gotten pushed past almost the entirety of first point.
This is a pretty scrappy one, but it's looking like it's going to go the way of Council of Anime Girls. They have both their sports and tanks alive, so they should be fine, even with Hawk falling there. Hawk with a little bit of an uncharacteristic performance. He has been very quiet on this match, but Hawk's the type of guy who, when he gets angry, he doesn't play worse, he plays angrier. And trust me, he is a scary man to play against when he's angry. So I'm still going to keep an eye on him as we get into the second half of this map. Echo does shine here because there's a lot more vertical cover on this map than there is on that first point. It's kind of hard to set up on first point, but there's a lot more areas you can come for and flanks you can use as Echo on the second point.
Absolutely. Absolute Monstrosity already in a better position than Council of Anime Girls with this high ground. Very good Dragon Strike, though. Is it going to find any kills? I don't think it will, and they managed to save that Immortality field. Though Tex is going to go down to some headshots from Hawks, but he's going to give his life for an Epic Gamer with a really good punish. Council of Anime Girls just playing passive. The Nano Boost is going to go out onto Epic Gamer. The Pulse Bomb does come out, doesn't find anything. He's still just chipping over there. Bob Guy does get Minecraft Man in the duel. Hanzo winning against the Vegeta. The really good halt there from Not Tier 2 to pull Absolute Monstrosity off that high ground, and it looks like kills are just going to be coming in for Council of Anime Girls. They're going to win this fight, and it's going to be one more fight on second point.
Yeah, and you know, look at the ultimates available for Council of Anime Girls right now. They have the Supercharger, which on its own is one of the best ults in the game, but even, you know, without that, they have the Flux and the Echo dupe. There's no excuse for them not to win this fight. They have every resource they need and the positioning to do it.
Epic Gamer getting spotted out on this flank. Let's see how it works out from Flux coming out from Blatman, but it gets cancelled. Another huge cancel from Hoopa. He's going to respond with his own Flux. 2 kills either way. Both supports down for Absolute Monstrosity. The Flux from the Echo. Cancelled by Hoopa! Hoopa is canceling all these Fluxes, but it's not going to matter. And Council of Anime Girls is going to take that point just barely.
That was... I feel so bad for Absolute Monstrosity. Your Sigma stunned both Fluxes in that fight. And you still lost. Because Hawks just found the kills anyway. That's gotta be so depressing. I mean, that was so good from him, being able to do that twice. That's a really hard thing to do, to be that consistent with your rocks. That just shows how good of a Sigma he is.
but Hawks came up with the kills in the end, and Council of Anime Girls is going to be pushing into this final point with 4 minutes more than actually in the time tank, with a supercharger out, Absolute Monstrosity getting pushed back. Just Epic Gamer on the point, he gets stunned. I'm not going to die, but Minecraft Man does go down. They're going to get pushed back. More kills just coming in from Council of Anime Girls. They've just been snowballing this point since first point. And it's going to be dubious if Absolute Monstrosity even gets a touch here.
Yeah, it doesn't look like anyone is going to be able to touch. Maybe Epic Gamer? Nah,
no.
The ult stopped.
And the Council of Anime Girls with a 5-minute and 18-second time bank.
I mean, this is what I said would happen. Like, not out of the woods for Council of Anime Girls. It's still a very good team, even with getting the 3rd point capped. I still feel like they're the better team in this matchup, and they're proving that now with a 4-minute 18 time bank as they finish with, of course, with the rules of payload. If you finish the map, if your opponent finished the map with 0 time and you finish it with more than a minute, the time bank's even out to a minute, and then you just get added the difference to the time bank that you had. So they're gonna have a 5-minute 18 time bank on their attack, but we're gonna start out with the 1-minute attack coming out from Absolute Monstrosity here. They're gonna stick with this double shield look, but they're gonna play it a little bit differently. Looks like they're gonna go a little bit more for a divey look. They're gonna have the Echo Tracer there. It's a little bit strange to me that they're gonna keep the Orisa with this comp. I would prefer them to switch the BAP out for a Zen and then just run the ball. I think that comp would be a lot better than what they're going to try to run here, because while Hoopa and No Blood are going to be there and doing their best on the front line, they're not going to have anyone else with them. It's going to be like they're both their other DPS are flankers. They might have the Baptiste with them, but that's not going to help them win a frontline duel.
Absolutely, and Council of Anime Girls running the Hog here, so it's going to be interesting to see how they play this. And Absolute Monstrosity just going to be rolling out the Mercy, pocketing the Echo, just trying to get some chip damage. And Tex gets the pick up onto Mushroom, and Council of Anime Girls does not have a Mercy, but Minecraft Man goes down, and that's going to be the worst pick possible. However, Tex is equalizing with Bob Guy. Just getting that pick. Hawk gets Tex though, and it's just both Echoes dueling it out. Tex does go down, and Epic Gamer does go down to a hook, so it looks like Council of Anime Girls is going to hold off. However, Absolute Monstrosity has to just keep pushing here. They have no time. Immortality Field comes out. Hoopa gets hooked. The Mercy is back, so the res is going to be available in case one of them dies. The cards come to a bit of a standstill here. Blatman just trying for those hooks. Not tier 2 with the knockup. No picks coming in. Absolute Monstrosity gaining some ground here. No picks coming through. Hoopa is getting discorded. No focus coming through. Hoopa goes very low, but Hawkins is going to get Epic Gamer with the headshots. He's also going to get Hoopa. The copy comes out onto the Baptiste. I don't know if that's what he wanted, but it's what he's going to get, and it's going to work out for them. The window comes out from the duplicated Echo, and it looks like Council of Anime Girls is going to stop Absolute Monstrosity in their tracks on this first corner, and they have 5 minutes and 18 seconds to get there.
I was a little concerned there that I'd cast a Curse Hawk when I had hyped him up too much after map 1, because he didn't really play that well in the first couple of rounds, but these last 2 rounds he's been very, very well. Back on the top of this team with 34 eliminations, and we're not done with the map yet, so we're probably going to see some more out of him. Very, very talented Echo player. Hawk is the type of player, he is a true flex DPS. He can play any DPS in the game, all 16 of them. He's that good of a player. He plays them all to the Masters level that he plays at. Like he's a 3.7 player. He plays them all at that level. That's how good of a player we're talking about right now. Absolutely deserving of 3.5 MVP. Very, very solid player. But, let's talk a little bit about another player that kind of goes unspoken for the side of Council of Anime Girls, and that's not tier 2. He's been playing very, very well. He gets, 3 people in these pile drives all the time. He is disrupting the enemy team so well, creating a lot of opportunities for his DPS, for Bob Guy, and for Hawk to find those picks, and it's just rolling right now for Council of Anime Girls. They only have to push the cart 52.8 meters. Not going to really be that hard. All they got to do is win one decisive fight, and they're home free with a 2-point win here. But, full hold's not out of the question.
It is possible, so there's no reason to rule Absolute Monstrosity out yet. Blatman going to be sticking on that hog from the defense, and now here we go. Let's see if Absolute Monstrosity can pull off a miracle. No blood, no soul is on that ball, like you mentioned, so they are going to be going with something that isn't the double shield that we're used to, but Council of Anime Girls not running it either, so no double shield here. Not tier 2, just getting a slam onto that high ground. Not much out of it. No Blood No Soul just kind of walking around on cart, gets the slam onto Cloud. He gets anti, but the sleep does miss, so they're not going to get that kill. Hoopa does get hooked, but the immortality field is there to save him. No Blood No Soul is still very low, but he's not going to get taken down. The Tex gets killed with a Sonic Arrow headshot. Bob Guy's also going to get No Blood No Soul. Epic Gamer does get Clown Dog, so Absolute Monstrosity is still in this fight. Flatman on that flank. Clown Dog is going to get res, but Donut Puncher does get Flatman punished on the flank. Hoopa just alone on court. He's going to get isolated and killed. And it looks... No Blood, No Soul slamming onto cart. Hawk does get Donut Puncher though, so it's just 3 on cart for Absolute Monstrosity. No Blood, No Soul trying to come up with some kills. Tex does get Mushroom, but the Dragon Strike is out from Bob Guy, and No Blood, No Soul is... And it looks like Council of Anime Girls is going to be taking the second map.
Yeah, good creative stall there from Minecraft, man, sitting on that balcony. I barely noticed he was there. But I got to give props there to Not Tier 2 with an absolutely heads-up play. That high ground is a really important position, not just for the defenders, but also for the attackers. They want to be able to get up on that high ground at first point so they can overlook the courtyard on their push. And Not Tier 2 does a great job of putting Hoopa out of the equation. He boops him off that high ground and forces the entire roster from Absolute Monstrosity to get off that high ground because they can't stay up there without their Sigma. They're too exposed to the arrows from Hanzo and the tri-shots from that Echo. It's too dangerous for them to be there alone, so it forces them all on the low ground, and from there, the positional advantage is completely in Council of Anime Girls' favor, and they're just able to win that fight fairly easily. So, absolutely great play there from your ball.
Council of Anime Girls with another decisive win on map 2. However, we did see some life from Absolute Monstrosity, so is it possible that they could get that reverse sweep onto Council of Anime Girls here?
Yeah, again, definitely not another question. We saw some breath of life there from Absolute Monstrosity on their attack, their first attack. They played pretty well, and we can definitely see that again. I think, again, they're leaning way too much on this double shield comp. I think this comp sucks. I'm not gonna pull my punches. I'm not gonna sugarcoat this at all. This comp is awful. It's not good in this meta. It sucks against the Sigma ball comp that I still believe is meta. I know Sigma just got his changes to his shield, which nerfed the redeploy cooldown, but I still believe Sigma is like one of the best tanks in the game right now. Ball especially is. There's no reason not to run Ball right now. He's crazy. So I don't agree with their pick here to run this double shield. It doesn't give their DPS as much wiggle room. It doesn't create enough space for the rest of the roster to do things, and it's not survivable enough. It's way too easy to get on by that Sigma ball. The reason that the double shield sucks is because it has too many immobile characters. They have a lot of resources to survive a dive, but just like the lack of mobility, the fact that they have to stay in one place, and the fact that they have to rotate through open space on every map in the game at some point or another makes the comp that can just pounce on them and find value way more effective. And I think Absolute Monstrosity is going to have to force themselves onto that comp if they want to have a chance here, because the double shield is not going to work for them.
Absolutely. And as we saw yesterday, Absolute Monstrosity going to go into Blizzard World. They were running the ball at the end of that round against Council of Anime Girls. Obviously, it was too little too late, but I'm assuming you like this switch, and do you think they're going to stick with it going into this third map of Blizzard World?
Unclear at this time.
Yeah.
We'll have to see as we get into this next map. It depends. Obviously, they're gonna have prepared strats if it is their map. Yeah, we'll have to see how it goes. Scooter's coming in for Tex on this next map. Scooter was the Pharah player who actually played pretty well on Li Zhang, so hopefully they're gonna have a little bit more life than Tex did on that last map. Monstrosity's got to put something together here. They kind of got destroyed by Everfrost. Actually, I shouldn't say that. That was the other game. SpongeBob Mac and Cheese got destroyed on this map. The Monstrosity played very, very well in this match against Everfrost. It was their best map in that series. They played fairly well, but they weren't able to close it out at the last second. And I think this is going to be a map where we can see them start to turn it around. But again, it's a very, very good ball sig map, so Coag could easily take this one if they keep sticking to their guns.
Absolutely. The ball is in Council of Anime Girls' hands. They control their own destiny here. We are going to go into the third map, which is going to be Blizzard World. I probably mentioned that already. But as we get into this third map, it's going to be in Absolute Monstrosity's hands. They have to win this map to stay in this series, or else it is going to be another disappointing 3-0 loss for them.
Yeah, that's definitely going to shake their confidence going into the regular season. They're I believe they're like a 3.3, 3.2 average team. And this is a Masters tournament, so they're definitely going to be a little bit on the lower side. But, it would help their confidence if they're able to at least take some maps here off a good opponent. I think Council of Anime Girls, I'm going to talk about this more on the NAS, which you should all tune into at this Thursday at 5 p.m. Eastern. But I think Council of Anime Girls is going to be a top 5 team. They have a lot of talent, a lot of familiar faces, and a lot of, finishing power. All their players are good throughout the roster. There's no real weak link in this roster. Every player has their strengths, and while they have weaknesses, they are still really, really good. And I think they are going to out-mechanic a lot of teams in the lower half of the league. They may struggle against some of the more coordinated teams in the upper echelon of this league, but I think Council of Anime Girls is a really, really dangerous team. So even if they're not able to take a map off them, I don't think they should be too mad at themselves. They're going to be a really strong team when it comes into the regular season.
Absolutely, and Council of Anime Girls is going to be starting on this defense. Nothing we haven't seen from them before. Absolute Monstrosity on this double sniper. Not likely that they'll stick on it. They are going to get scouted out from the Hanzo. Not tier 2. Going to be ignored. And is he going to get a boot? No, he is not. Though very close. He's going to get out.
Oh, he gets the back. He was Discord. I was like, he's definitely dying here.
This no Ana, so there's no sleep to chain him there, and he's gonna live, but just barely. Absolute Monstrosity just walking in onto this point. Not a lot. Council of Anime Girls just gonna be waiting for their time to strike. Not tier 2, jumping on that Widow, and Hawk is gonna get the kill onto him. That's a first pick advantage for Council of Anime Girls. Clown Dog gets Jet Gravy, gets Jonah Puncher, Blackman gets Scooter, and it's just kills rolling in. And Council of Anime Girls is gonna take the first fight. Epic Gamer is going to switch over to that Tracer, however, which we did see him have success on Rico.
I think Noblood needs to get off Orisa. He needs to be on this. Okay, well, Winston's not. I don't think this is terrible. I don't like it as much, but it's definitely going to give Epic Gamer more room to work with than a double shield comp. He's definitely going to be able to get on this immobile backline of Briggs Zen a lot easier, and they're going to be able to dive, which is what I want them to do. They need to be able to punish Clown Dog and Mushroom. We're putting themselves in some very awkward positions right now, only really being saved because the kills are running in for Coag here. So definitely a better comp than what they were on before.
Absolute Monstrosity trying something new when they are backed into corner. However, Epic Gamer is going to go down. The bubble comes out, but gets absolutely no value. Hawk gets Scooter again, and it looks like Absolute Monstrosity with 2 down is not going to win that fight. However, Noblood No Soul just kind of chipping on the edge, taking the space. The bubble's going to come out, but they are going to back off now.
Yeah, and we see once again, I think that, oh, actually, not tier 2 dies.
Not tier 2 dies there, though, and Absolute Monstrosity just gonna march onto the point with the bubbles. The pulse bomb comes out from Sempra, and he's gonna get 2! Epic Gamer very low. He's not gonna go down just yet, but it looks like Council of Anime Girls slightly stabilized here. No tanks available, no Winston available, I should say, for Absolute Monstrosity. They're gonna get cleaned up, and that's gonna be another lost fight for them here.
Sempra playing the role of the janitor, cleaning up all those kills for his team there. He is a sub on this roster. Abstract will be the hit scan DPS that we see for this main roster. He's currently out for some IRL stuff, but he will be here for the regular season, so we won't see too much of Sempra. And I do clown Sempra a lot. I'm friends with him. I like to talk about how bad he is. But in truth, I think he's a really talented player. I think he has a lot of potential if he isn't busy being a real jackass. He can be a really, really dangerous player, and Tracer's definitely one of them. So. Gotta be aware of him.
Not tier 2 getting anti-discord and all sorts of things, but he is going to make it out alive. The jump comes in from No Blood No Soul onto point, almost got the primal. The trance comes out to try and save him, but it's not going to matter. The flux comes out from Bladman, only on for the trans then, so it's not going to matter. But 2 kills already are coming in from Council of Anime Girls, and it looks like they're going to be winning another fight here, and a full hold is looking possible for the side of Council of Anime Girls.
Yeah, and what you're seeing here is really the effectiveness of this Sigma Ball comp is how many angles they're able to play right now. Just look at where the positioning of each player right now. Not tier 2's doing his own thing. Sempra and Hawk are on an angle themselves, but they'll be off that as soon as Sempra goes into dive. And then Blackman with the Zen are all in the back. Oh, that's just disgusting.
Clown gets Jet Gravy with the orb volley, and that's another 10 seconds off the clock for Absolute Monstrosity. Epic Gamer is on this McCree, so we'll see how that works out for them. They've been trying a lot of stuff this match. Jack Gravy on the Lucio just to get back to point fast. And let's see how this goes. The Nano comes out onto No Blood No Soul, but the trans is going to come out from Clown Dog. No Blood No Soul does have the Primal, so he is going to be able to live through this. He's just knocking people around. Now tier 2 goes in with the Minefield. The grab comes out, gets 2, but No Blood No Soul is already dead. However, Absolute Monstrosity does get the kill onto Blackman, though Hawk gets the kill onto Donut Puncher. Jack Gravy gets Mushroom, but the player advantage is in favor of Council of Anime Girls. It's just Hoopa on point. He's going to get Dragon Strike. He's going to go down, and it looks like it's going to be a full hold for the side of the side of Council of Anime Girls.
And that's just, they ran that comp really, really well there. They didn't put themselves in one spot. They put themselves in a lot of really, they had a lot of angle control, right? Every player was on a different angle. And it made it really hard for the less mobile comp of that Zarya and Winston to really choose a target to go on, because whoever they went on, they got dove on themselves. They got counter dove by every other member of the team. Whether they could try to go in on the core of the roster, that Briggs and Sigma, they just get dove by the Ball Tracer, and the Hanzo's on high ground poking at them. Right? They try to go at the Hanzo, he jumps away. Once again, Ball Tracer's on you. You try to go at the Tracer, they didn't try to go at the Tracer, because why would you do that? But you get what I'm saying, right? Like, there's no one they can really go at and commit on, because they just get pounced on themselves. And that's what makes this hybrid composition so good. Because no matter who you engage on, they're either too mobile, or they can survive long enough for the mobile characters to come help them. And it's such a good comp on defense.
However, they are on the offense. Not tier 2 is showing a Winston here, so we could get a Winston ball comp, though I highly doubt it, though we've seen some stuff come out today, so I would not be surprised. Absolute Monstrosity just on this defense, running Hoopa on the Hog and No Blood No Soul on the ball, and this is what you did want the ball. I don't know. How do you feel about the Hog pick here from Hoopa?
I don't hate it. I think with Sigma nerfs, I don't think Hog's better than Sigma, but I think he still has somewhat of a place. I think this Hog ball composition is still somewhat good. Maybe not as good as it once was, but it definitely still has some value here. So I'm excited to see what they do with it moving forward. It's definitely a different look from them, so I'm excited to see if it can work out for them.
Scooter on the Ash here with the Mercy Pocket. We haven't seen this last for too long, but we'll see. Blackman just working his way onto that high ground with Clown Dog and Mushroom. Just scrappy fights all over the map. Sempra gets the better of Epic Gamer in the Tracer duel. That's already 2 down for Absolute Monstrosity. Hoopa gonna get killed off that high ground. Not tier 2, slamming in Absolute Monstrosity's back range. Sempra does go down from No Blood No Soul. But
touch.
okay. Absolute Monstrosity does get the touch, but Council of Anime Girls are just cleaning up these players, and they are going to get this cap here, and that's going to be a quick 3-0 from Council of Anime Girls. They are going to be taking this preseason match.
Yeah, I mean, that was what we expected going into this. Coag had a very, very dominant showing in their earlier match, and once again, just really, really showing that they are a top team in this division. I don't know if I would say top team. I personally think they're going to be like upper mid-tier. I think they will struggle against some top teams, like actual top teams, but you can see they definitely have potential. There's a lot of good in this roster, a lot of good players, a lot of positives going for Council of Anime Girls, other than the name, of course. So, I'm excited to see what they pull out in the regular season. But enough about that. We can get into our interview now. Let's talk about who we think is the best player from this live. Who do you think popped off the most in this?
I really would have to give it to Hawk here. He was popping off on the Echo, getting a lot of those clutch kills on that double Sigma cancel from Hoopa. He was able to just clean up that fight with the Echo and just win his fight for the team, and he was coming in clutch with the Hanzo as well, getting those headshots. And what do you think about that?
I mean, I think that he very, very talented player. It does look like we will be getting Blackman here for the interview. I think Blatt's a very, very solid player. I played with him for a very, very long time. Since I believe last year, literally about a year ago, I became his teammate. And he's just been a very, very solid player for as long as I can remember. He is a very, very talented off-tank player. He plays main tank when he really needs to. And I can't think of anyone more deserving of the player of the match award, because he is just so consistent, so smart, so dominant on that off-tank role. He's going to be an excellent player for this team.
Absolutely. And as the play-by-play caster who has now casted 2 matches, I probably should listen to you more than I should listen to me. And we are probably going to see Blattman as our player of the match.
Yes, hopefully. We're just waiting to get him in here now. We shall see here in a... It's not on me to pull him, is it? Hold on.
So we are back with Blattman here for the post-game interview. A quick delay there, and congrats on your win, Blattman here.
Thanks. Felt good.
How do you feel about your performance today against Absolute Monstrosity with the decisive 3-0 victory over them?
We're very happy as a team to get the 3-0. I'm a little mad at Hoopa. Man, hit every rock on every flux. I still feel like my fluxes were getting the value, but we were happy with it. We're really looking forward to it, and I think we're sending a message to Chinese Monsoon with this one. We're feeling pretty confident with it.
Well, I think you're sending a message to the entire league. That's 2 3-0 victories now for the Council of Cat Girl Connoisseurs. And honestly, I think you guys definitely have a lot of potential moving forward here. I want to give you a chance to talk a little bit about your team. Of course, I know things about it being the former coach, but I'd like you to give a little bit of background on your team. What have you guys done to prepare for this tournament?
So we've actually been trialing a new coach. Thanks, Misfit. That was a fun one. But in honesty, we've been scrimming 3 times a week, which with a roster this big, I think we've all had times where we just miss a couple in a row, so it's been a tough time. But when we get the full team together, we've been scrimming pretty well. A big thing for us, because none of us really, we've kind of come from different groups. A big thing for us was just figuring out a comm structure. I don't know if we figured it out still. I'd like to think we did, but we're happy with it. And the other big thing is we just made sure Hawk eats like Cheerios every morning, because that's the secret to him just never missing.
Really?
Yes, it's.
I will have to try that.
He puts something in it, and we're not sure what, but I think it's milk.
I mean, if it works, I guess.
Yeah.
And he was absolutely dominating this match,
Milk
so
with
props
cereal.
to him.
Who would eat milk with cereal? That's so disgusting.
Well, the better part is he puts one of them in first, and I won't tell you which.
I see. Mm-hmm. I'll DM him after the game.
Yeah.
So my last question for you is going to be, are there any? You mentioned that you wanted to send a message to Chinese Monsoon, but is there any other words you want to say to Owlet while you have the spotlight right now? You can say anything to anyone, provided it's within reason. Is there any message you want to send to anyone?
Have to be careful with my words after last year.
Absolutely. I'm giving you a chance.
Yeah. I got one. Gonna call out a couple teams in specific here. Let's go with Chinese Monsoon for the first and foremost. We're not scared of Chinese Monsoon. I still don't think they have a main tank. We have 3.
Easy win.
Power move there.
3.5. Man,
bro, we have
got one piece who counts for 1.5.
That's true. And then the other one I'm calling out, and this is a personal vendetta, and I know me and Hawk have talked about it, but we have to be upset with the team formerly known as Crusaders. We're not gonna take that game easy, especially because it's the first one of the season, and we're excited, so excited to get a chance to go put on a show. And I would not be surprised if Hawk finds a way to get 100% kill participation in that match. He hit 97% today on Li Zhong. And I felt like we did okay, as a team, but apparently he's carrying us. And he'll do it again against Barbecue. I'm not worried. I'm not worried about any team in this league at this point. We are that good.
You believe you're that good. There's no one here you need to be worried about.
No, as long as Hawk doesn't miss it due to personal reasons, I think we're fine.
Dude, if Hawk misses it,
if Hawk's gone, we'll put it up to chance. There's always a chance we lose. I'll have to put on the carry. Okay, I haven't done it since I played for Bench Boys back then. So we'll figure it out.
All right. Well, that just about does it. Do you have any more questions for him, Razor?
No, I'm just looking forward to seeing how you guys perform. Looking forward to seeing Hawk with that 100% kill participation in
It'll
tonight's
happen,
game.
I promise.
All right. Well, that is going to do it for our post-game interview here. This was Council of Anime Girls versus Absolute Monstrosity, clean 3-0 by the Council. And we're looking forward to see what they can do in the regular season. But that's going to wrap it up for our broadcast here tonight. Any parting words for us, Razorblade?
Not really. Looking forward to the rest of the preseason and the start of the regular season in just a couple of days. So that's it for us, and we'll see you guys next time.